Some time back, there was a narrative in this country. I think there was a report that there were efforts by President Uhuru Kenyatta and there was an efforts by church to make sure that Uhuru Kenyatta and Deputy President William Ruto can be reconciled. However, that did not happen, even though we saw William Ruto coming out publicly to say that he was willing to work and to reconcile with his boss, President Uhuru Kenyatta. As we gear towards the general election, I think it is a time where I believe that that handshake can actually happen. I will do another video on this exclusively, on why this is the best time for that handshake to happen. But just to highlight a bit, some of the people around President Uhuru Kenyatta, some of the President Uhuru Kenyatta's advisors, are going to leave office by 9th February to go and seek elective seats. Some of them are in the cabinet, the others were actually working in the State House. And so, by the virtue that the people around the president are going to be reduced, then I think the president is going to be more independent and he's going to think more. And I want to say that before Uhuru Kenyatta leaves office, whether he will do it to support, whether he will do it for the face of unity and peace in the country, or whether he will do it just to make sure that he says his last goodbyes from State House, but before the August 8th general election, Uhuru Kenyatta is going to meet Ruto, Raila, Mudavadi, and they are going to meet in State House or somewhere in a show of unity. If this is not going to be done in State House, then it is going to be done in the last holiday this year. I think that is the 1st of May. I think that will be Labor Day if I'm not wrong. Not Labor Day, but Madaraka Day if I'm not wrong. So that is something that is expected. Or if it doesn't happen there, then during the cabinet reading in the National Assembly. So in this video, I want to look at efforts, things that are happening that makes it a little bit difficult for even Uhuru and Ruto to reconcile. Even though we've been told that the president was willing to reconcile with his deputy and his deputy is adamant, but for me, I just want to look at what is happening in the public, what is happening in the political arena that is making it very difficult for it to happen. And the first indicator of this is designed bitterness that William Ruto is now directing on President Uhuru Kenyatta. He's so bitter. I think for some obvious reason, for some reasons, you can see in William Ruto's eyes that he's so bitter. But then my good friend Bernard Adewa once mentioned that the William Ruto and Mudavadi team are just trying to play the emotional appeal so that they can sway Kenyans to support them, or rather seeking what is called playing the victim card. But now, in this analysis, I want to look at five observations that are happening in the political sphere that is making it difficult for even Uhuru to reconsider working with William Ruto. Guys, if you're new to this channel, take a second and subscribe, and more importantly, also click the notification bell so that when we drop a video, YouTube will automatically notify you. And most importantly, let's engage at the comment section. One of the reasons why William Ruto might not work and it is making it difficult for them to reconcile is the issue, the business interest and the continuance mention of Fuliza. Have you ever asked yourself why when Ruto is on stage and is talking on the way the economy is down, the way the youths are being auctioned, I don't know, in Fuliza and Shylock, have you ever asked why he must always mention the issue of Fuliza? And by then, let me ask you guys, there is a narrative, there is something that he says there that I want us to just debunk. Is there someone who can be put to CRB because he has defaulted Fuliza? does Fuliza really take someone to CRB? Because I think what could take someone to CRB is Mshwari. But he keeps on mentioning Fuliza. And let me mention, I think I read somewhere that in the implementation of the Fuliza program, there were banks that were supposed to be participating in it. That was NCBA, Cooperative, then with the Safaricom. So I'm told at some later stage, because President had much interest in the NCBA, the Cooperative Bank was not included, and NCBA now implements the Safaricom, the Fuliza program with Safaricom. And according to William Ruto, I think the initial agreement was for them to be part of it through the Cooperative Bank, but NCBA, according to the report, it's more confined to Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So there is that bitterness that he did not get a share, perhaps, of that Fuliza issue. And that is why you will actually realize that many times he lately speaks about the Fuliza. I think I've ever mentioned about that business interest here. Now, two is the latest narrative by William Ruto that Deep State is planning to steal his votes. And you will hear him in the stage saying that mimi naonekana mtu ambaye naweza nyang'anywa, naweza ibiwa kura. You understand? So I think that narrative first it's setting a trap to reject the election results. Because if you've already, and this is something that happened with the NASA, this is a script that NASA did very well, and I think in the 2017 they even did something like Kulinda Kura, where they were telling people that after voting you don't go home, you move around the polling station. Until then in the day, IBC then said after voting you have to go home. And even from that contradiction, you know, the minds of voters really were designed to think that Raila Odinga's votes were actually stolen, while really who is going to steal the votes at the polling station? If it was done, I think it was done in a high-tech manner. So when William Ruto insists that there are plans by Deep State, they can steal or they can manipulate the polls, that is already setting a trap to reject the results. And someone who is now a supporter of Hustler might not agree if in any case in August 8th general election, the polls do not go their way. Then this is something that is a recipe for chaos. And I think just because of this, it is a direct insult to Deep State now, because that William Ruto is, if Deep State if Deep State is normally there, then he should actually appreciate, because then they are in government because of the same Deep State. Now this is something that William Ruto keeps on repeating, and I know it's something that is not going to augur well, especially in his presidential bid, and that is why one of the reasons why he cannot work closely with President Uhuru Kenyatta. Another issue that I've also realized is Raila's public endorsement by President Uhuru Kenyatta. I think when Uhuru Kenyatta, and something that William Ruto was actually expecting, that Uhuru Kenyatta is just going to leave the political space, even after saying that he's not going to, even showing that he was not going to support Ruto. Ruto did not expect the president to publicly endorse Raila Odinga. Now, that public endorsement, according to William Ruto, just tells him directly that Uhuru do not believe in his leadership. That even despite the fact that he was Uhuru's deputy for 10 years, but Uhuru did not believe in him. Actually, to William Ruto, you can understand his bitterness, because he campaigned with Uhuru in 2013. They formed the government. In 2017, they campaigned. They were announced winners on 8th. Then the election was rejected. Uhuru became so bitter. Uhuru could not even campaign. I have to give William Ruto this, because William Ruto went to campaign alone in other parts of the country. And I think I even saw a clip of him campaigning in Kuria alone. I think if I get that clip, I'm going to play for you that clip at the end of this video. Campaigning in Kuria alone. So he felt like, even at the height of betrayal, you can betray me, not support me, but just going to support the enemy, the person that opposed us. William Ruto felt like that was not more. Then again, the bitterness is another part of this is the fact that William Ruto, that Uhuru Kenyatta by design chased him from Jubilee Party. It is chasing him from Jubilee Party because people have actually argued that William Ruto left the party. No, it was not that, because if you listen to David Murade and Raphael Tuju, David Murathe is on record saying that their role in that party was to make sure that they chase William Ruto. And so you'll see, I don't remember how many times President Uhuru Kenyatta went to Jubilee headquarters. Even President Uhuru Kenyatta called a Jubilee PG meeting constructively to talk about the party development or to talk about the progress of the party. But many of times in this second term, they will call the PG just to remove someone from the position, maybe in Senate, in National Assembly, and it was just something about sending members that they deemed were never supporting the Jubilee party. So honestly, the script was, if you chase William Ruto, they thought that William Ruto was not going to get a party. But then Ruto now alijipanga, he sought himself out and got the UDA party, and then the UDA party is now what he's going to use. So the fact that he was actually sent from that makes him so bitter, and just by that response, that's why they cannot really work. It's not very easy for them to reconcile with Uhuru Kenyatta. Now, the lastly is the issue of betrayal. The kumi yangu kumi yako, I think I've mentioned, it was supposed to be there. But then I know that William Ruto knows very well that Uhuru Kenyatta did not owe him anything, because there are also rumors that for them to come together, maybe money exchanged hands. So I want to believe that is also playing a role why exactly there is the issue why they cannot work together. But then my last point on this is the thieves, the corruption tag in William Ruto. Now, William Ruto knows that by the design, the state tried to expose him and now try to paint him as someone who is corrupt, someone who is looting the public resources. As to whether this is normally true or no, personally, I cannot judge because I'm not a court of law. But what I know is in the first 2 years, in this second term, in the first term, William Ruto was just seen there. Of course, there were corruption in the Aror and Kimwarer Dam, but then in this second term, it was that concerted effort for him to be seen as someone who is looting the public resources, and some of the people that he has sent in cabinet, that his representatives in cabinet, his portion in cabinet, were actually shown the door. CS Rotich, the Rashid Echesa, which to me I normally think that Rashid Echesa was actually sent out of the cabinet for legit. If there's someone that was actually removed from cabinet legitly, then that was Rashid Echesa. So by the end of the day, William Ruto feels like these people looked at him and saw him as a thief, someone who was just looting the public resources, and he's not trusted. So just because of this third tag, you will actually hear William Ruto now not feeling very comfortable even being around President Uhuru Kenyatta. So guys, in those are my 5 points where I think that these are the issues that are frustrating any effort by anyone, even the churches. I know there have been lately another move by the church. I think it was in January. There was another move by the church to make sure that they reconcile these two religions. That was the second move, and that was mooted secretly. But that did not work out because really in the public arena, things are not working out. And they know also President Uhuru Kenyatta have decided that the person he is going to support for presidency is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. So guys, that's my analysis. You can also talk to us on what you think about this.